and also for your answers to questions. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you. All right, so our next submitter, Marie Gray, representing the Summit Road Society. Marie, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the table. And you've got 5 minutes for your presentation today.
Tēnā koutou, nei rā te mihi mai o hā kia koutou. I'm sure most of you know the Summit Road Society, a grassroots conservation organisation working to protect the Port Hills. So it's really timely that I've just immediately followed Bronwyn, because Friends of Pūtau Reserve are part of our urban parks pilot, trapping pilot, which took two years to get underway, to get trapping going in urban parks. And I think they caught 4 rats in their first week, and they're trying to get rid of the rats of Kashmir. And I would just really support what Bronwyn was saying there, that there is so much enthusiasm at a grassroots level for taking personal action, for looking after our local spaces. And what people need is they need the support to make it happen. They need more urban rangers, they need the resourcing to make it happen. So this is all part of our wider vision of predator-free Port Hills and pest-free Banks Peninsula. Pest-free Banks Peninsula is a really aspirational program, and things are really ramping up. It's very exciting. A $10 million program is just about to get underway to eradicate a number of predators from Kaitariti Spit and eradicate possums and suppress a number of other predators from the extended wild side. But the Pest-Free Banks Peninsula strategy is more than those 2 eradication programs. There's a number of other points in that strategy, and that needs support to get underway. So therefore we support the Pest-Free Banks Peninsula's funding request for $120,000 in the 2021 and increasing, to facilitate the expansion of community-led predator control programs into Kākahu Kahukura and the wider peninsula. So Te Kākahu Kahukura is that landscape scale restoration of the southern Port Hills. So that is about 1,000 hectares of bush connecting the peninsula to the city. So it's exciting times ahead, and the council can play a role in supporting the implementation of Pest-Free Banks Peninsula right on our doorstep. We also support the request for $40,000 per year for the feral goat eradication. We are so close to eradicating feral goats on the peninsula. And as I said, support for the urban dimension as well. You'll be aware we've got our Linda Woods Reserve and our very ambitious plan to plant 87,000 trees over 33 hectares of Oka Valley. We were here in maybe 2 weeks. We've got our Jobs for Nature program, so fingers crossed on that. And we will be developing a network of tracks as well through Oka Valley. And just like to highlight the importance of Duncan Park and the need to review the management plan for Duncan Park, because Duncan Park used to be an urban park, sort of isolated. It is now the gateway to Linda Woods Reserve, as well as the surrounding council reserves. The council has supported the society in a memorandum of understanding agreement financially, but that grant has not been reviewed for 10 years. So we're really grateful for that grant, but it's actually simply not enough, and we'd like you to give thought in the long-term plan looking forward. We support the funding for Rod Donald Banks Peninsula Trust and their ability to sort of make meaningful change in biodiversity and recreation on the peninsula. We do not support the cuts to biodiversity and sustainability funding. We are facing a climate change and ecological crisis, and we need to increase our funding in that area, not decrease it. And we would like to see a support given to the wider waterways within the Christchurch area, transformation of the Otakaro Avon River, but there's also the Opowaho Most Greater River in Christchurch, Ihutai, Whakaropo. These are all other really important waterways that we need to be thinking about. We would like the 2 Diamond Harbour properties, 27 Hunters Road and 42 Federal Avenue, to be taken out of the fast track process and be working in conjunction with the communities with a focus on protecting those gullies, which have very high conservation value. And the Friends of Sam and Morgan's Gully have been active for many years restoring those gullies. And lastly, we'd like to see the development of the much talked about Port Hills Management Plan actually happen. So that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Time for one question if there is one. No question. Sarah.
From last year's stuff, how's the new sort of viewing space progressing? Up by the Son of the Bellbird.
We got $50,000 from the JD Stout Charitable Trust.
Yeah.
So we've got about $100,000 to raise.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and do that by the end of this year. And fingers crossed we get started on construction early summer.
That's great. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great. All the best with that. Exciting times. Thanks for the submission. Thank you. Okay, so now we come to the